Hello, Capcom Unity. Look who's here with us today. It is Ray. What's your title on DuckTales? What's your business with it?
Oh, I don't know. It's just my entire life for the past...
For right now.
For a long time. My name is Ray Unity. If you guys don't know me, I'm a producer at Capcom. And I have the esteemed honor of working on DuckTales Remastered with WayForward.
Yeah, DuckTales is a game I can't shut up about currently. It's one of my favorite games from when I was a kid. I'm not gonna until I get to finish the moon and complete that new content. Yeah. I don't know if we've shown yet, but I haven't seen that yet. I'm kind of waiting for it to be a surprise this weekend.
Have you just not gotten to it? Have you not been able to get to the new stuff?
Well, if we're being super technical, I don't have a build that I think lets me get to it.
I'm positive you do.
Do I?
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I just haven't gotten to it. I've played all the levels so far, including this one, which is visually probably my favorite level. The one we're about to show.
Yeah. New for E3, we are showing the Amazon level. You guys giving you a preview, was it last week when we had that video side-by-side deal with IGN. So what we're going to do here is what Chris is going to do is going to play through the level for you. You guys can kind of see how it goes. We'll talk about the new content that's in it, kind of what's different than from the original version, and you guys can, if you didn't get you can get a full listen of the track, because I know the IGN video kind of cut back and forth. Maybe you didn't get a full listen to the track. So
let's hear the new theme. Actually, the new theme is something special.
All right, we're gonna go over to the game now, and I'll be going to the stream too. So
so ask away.
I'll be doing my best to answer questions.
Listen to that. Listen to that. This is Jake Kaufman. He's done a lot of stuff with WayForward, and pretty much it's the best combination of the traditional orchestral theme from the show mixed in with something 8-bit and gamey. This is just fantastic.
That's something that Jake is really, I think he really excels in, is that he's able to create a soundtrack using modern compositions and instruments, but they still have an 8-bit feel to it, or an 80s feel, or whatever he's going for. I mean, I think that's what's really cool. And
he's just, if you've played Double Dragon Neon, his soundtrack to that is, I don't know how he hit every 80s beat there is.
Yeah.
And the best thing about the DuckTales soundtrack is that there are surprises hidden.
In the soundtrack.
There are things in the soundtrack to look for. Like, I don't want to ruin anything, but like, certain themes appear very briefly or subtly in other themes.
Of course.
Not Kevin. You're leading to something I'm not sure.
You will hear little tastes of other songs and other tracks, and that's according to talking to Jake. So maybe it's a musical thing you and I wouldn't notice.
Okay. I'm sure that is. So Jake, as if you guys are familiar with Jake or not, I mean, he's basically a game musician who works at WayForward now. He's very famous for doing this kind of retro kind of sound. Being who he is, he's always had his own version of the DuckTales theme, or what to do with the DuckTales game music in his head ever since he was a kid. It's kind of like it's one of the soundtracks that he grew up in and has always wanted to do something with. So when he started on the project, he's like, oh, I get to work on DuckTales. So no one feels the pressure more than this guy.
Oh yeah.
It's like, not only for what the fans are gonna. Oh, I didn't know that was there. Not only for what the fans are going to think about, but for him, it's a lot of pressure he puts on himself, because it's like a soldier working for one of his heroes. The soundtrack is one of his mentors.
Yeah, it's like if you know the term VGM when you hear it, VGM. There's no way you haven't heard of DuckTales.
Yeah.
It's some of the most famous video game music that has ever been composed, and I did talk to him about, like, that's a little intimidating. Let's save the moon for last, shall we?
We're absolutely doing the moon.
Oh no, he wanted to save it. Like, I'll get to that in a little. That's the one. Like, people have heard of the moon theme and may have never played the original DuckTales or live when the show was on.
Yeah, but I think thanks to the moon theme, because it hits so many top 10 lists. A lot of younger gamers know what DuckTales is and what DuckTales NES is, because it's like, oh, I'm watching this YouTube video about video game music, and they're talking about this game.
I think the legacy of the original game has done a lot to hold up the legacy, if not as much as Disney. Like, the game really holds up, stands the test of time, and now it's got a new coat of paint, and you can't deny that. Every time I tell one of you youngins to go play DuckTales, you have no excuse.
Yeah.
And like these were like semi-secrets. Not so much this, but like all these hidden areas.
So yeah, like I think so. This is kind of cool. Like in the original game, that entranceway was kind of hidden in one of those things where you have to jump in front of the HUD and kind of like, oh, let me go in in order to find it. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, can't believe you put the barrel there, making it so easy. But a lot of people forgot there's another secret right in this room too.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, you forgot about that, so it's not that easy. I mean,
I know some people worried about we don't incorporated some of the secret elements into the general narrative.
Yeah.
So to sort of get you to see everything it took me personally like 2 years to discover. 2 years and 30 Nintendo powers.
Did you miss? You want to just leave that secret alone there?
Which one?
The one in that room where you were just at.
Did I miss a secret?
Yeah.
Hold on, we're going back. We're going back. This is a Capcom Unity exclusive.
It's in the NES game. There's a secret in that room. You gotta jump up.
Did I miss it?
Go to the top and then jump up left.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that.
People didn't remember that.
I totally forgot about this. Oh, we're going double red.
Yeah. So, you guys might notice that he's picking up coins. So you know, we've talked about this before, and we added a narrative to a lot of the levels. You know, it's a little bit of exposition. It gives it as we were working on the game. You know, way forward, we're like, because the original, you know, the base what they start off was very, very identical and true to the original. And then as they started writing the story, they wanted to turn each stage into kind of its own DuckTales episode. So you know, you kind of need some stories. So what we did is, in the original game, you weren't going around looking for coins.
No.
And it'll be more apparent of why you're getting the coins. But you know, the story kind of explains. Oh, I'm getting all these coins. It gets me to this. Unlocks kind of like Indiana Jones kind of pointing to get to the temple of.
Especially in this level, it gives you a reason why you're finding things, why the natives might be upset with you.
And we do a little bit of that in every level. And you know what? I know in the last video came out, that's like, oh, moaning and groaning, and oh, too much story, which
you can skip it. You can skip it.
Too much story.
You can skip it, but for people like me who equally enjoy the show and the animation, I am a big nerd about that. If you look, I think the vines below here, the thorny vines down here, really emphasize that Disney Animator was hired to basically draw the backgrounds, which were then sort of mapped onto 3D objects. And if you look at these thorns, I think knowing Disney background animation like I do, it's one of the more perfect examples of that process in action.
Yeah. So we've had, you know, the level backgrounds were actually laid out by level artist from the TV show, and the textures were painted by a Disney trained artist. So
I got to get his name because his blog is fascinating. He has chronicled the making of the show DuckTales better than almost anyone.
Mike Peraza.
He's really, really good. If you ever cared about that era of cartoons like Goof Troop and Darkwing Duck, he's got like he dug up all his old art. The dude really treats the stuff he's done very well.
Yeah, so I mean, this game is it has the Disney cartoon DNA.
It does. What I learned about these guys,
the
6 legs. They got 6 legs just like in the original. They tried 4 legs.
Yeah.
Let's make it like the original. But one of my favorite things that I learned, and I got to get more information on this, so you Unity guys are going to get it first. The bee there. Did you know anything about the bee, Ray?
I know a lot of these animals come from the TV show and/or comic book, but I don't know which one.
Well, the bee is in the original game, but the look of this bee.
The bee is,
One of the animators, Walt Disney used to draw people personal things or send them personal messages and use a fly. A little fly that he drew. He wasn't part of the cartoons. It was just something he did personally with friends. The bee is modeled after that thing Walt Disney drew personally for friends. Because now we got to have a little little thing. Because I recently got to go talk to some of the animators and ask a billion nerdy questions, and that was one of the things that blew my mind. I know that fly. I've seen it before. You have to be very lucky.
So it was kind of like just a personal drawing that he wanted. That's awesome.
and so like just because since he's a little bee in the original and he's made up of like a dozen pixels, like. Now he has the basis for something in Disney canon.
So like a lot of the animals and a lot of the characters, you know, like they come from a personal anecdote. A lot of them, some of them come from a specific episode. You know, I think we're gonna do some stuff on Unity later where we kind of like, once you're able to look at the game, and we're gonna see if you guys can figure out where a lot of these things came from. Like,
I've actually done that in the past, and it's more difficult than you might think. One of the things I wanted to point out, people were wondering. Well, no, I was more wondering, like, I don't know if a modern... Oh, I just died. I should show you that plant animation.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorites. You can play this game as hard as you want. You can uncover secrets for yourself. But at any time, there is a map showing you what you need and where you need to go.
So the way the way the map is going right now, this is how it works in medium medium mode. Basically, it shows you where you've gone and it kind of highlights the things you need to go to kind of guide you. When you're playing on easy mode, this map is all totally open. When you're playing on hard, there is no map. So I mean, we really just wanted to open the game up to all sorts of difficulty levels. You know, we're not dumbing it down because there is a way to play that.
If we hit start, we can see if you think it's dumbed down, turn on hard pogo. You won't be able to see this very well. Oh, nor can I do it. I don't even know why this was done. In the original game, you had to hold down and B in order to pogo, and it's a little more difficult. And I don't honestly know the reason for it. Like, why couldn't you just hit B?
But that's how it did in DuckTales 2.
Yeah, and that's how it was in DuckTales. So if you want to play like that, oh, I don't know. Did we show them that?
Yeah. So exclusive. So right now what we have here.
Put on the camera real fast, guys. You got to see this. We'll have something to give away at some point.
So right now there's a booth here, and if you sing in the booth, which you sing the song, we're giving you one of these. It's basically a Scrooge McDuck pin. I don't know if you can.
You see it?
Yeah.
It's on my necklace.
It's on your necklace. Yeah, this is
I don't know if that's in focus, but look at that. Oh my God. Yeah, there's how many people have you seen in the singing booth?
It's constant. There's always people there.
I think I was there for the record, 7. And this is smaller than a telephone booth. There were 7 people screaming the DuckTales theme song at the top of their lungs, and I can't think of anything more beautiful.
Yeah, so, you know, either I'm putting Chris on the spot, but I'm pretty sure he'll have some available for you guys. Somehow, if not, I'm going to put them in my pocket and bring them back with me to make sure.
We made them for DuckTales fans.
So you guys will have your chances at getting some of these pins. It'll be pretty cool. I don't know if they'll be at Comic-Con, but we'll definitely be at least through the site.
DuckTales will be at Comic-Con in some capacity, that I guarantee you.
Yeah. If you guys are going to Comic-Con, we will have the booth there. I know that. So
yeah, please.
We will have the sing-along booth, and you guys have to go in, sing along to the song. It's getting recorded, so this is going to be recorded, and you're going to have to. What we're going to do is we're going to put it together in a big supercut video. I haven't done mine yet, but I'm definitely going to put mine in there.
Oh, we're going to get it in there.
And I need to do mine soon before I lose my voice because I'm really bad enough in the first place, but I'm worse even when my voice is gone.
I was threatening to go in there as a group. If you want to do that, I am totally down, Ray.
Yeah. So I'm just taking I'm taking a look at the community and see what's going on. I see some talk about DR3. DR, yeah, it is exclusive. I think that was
that's one stream ago.
I don't know. I'm just trying to help these guys. I know they got it. They have questions. Other than that, I couldn't tell you more about it because didn't know it was going to be here.
Yep.
It was super secret. Nah.
It was very much a secret.
So it looks like evil Ryuga. I will sing box B at Comic-Con. I know what you're trying to say. Oh no, will the sing box? Sorry. Will the sing box be at Comic-Con? Yes.
Yes, indeed.
It's more like the singing telephone booth.
I don't know. This was one of the greatest things I found when I was a kid. Because these plants were so scary. They were hard to get close to and see what they could really do. But then I could just do this all day and see every one of his frames of animation.
But no, look at that. That's like some real Little Shop of Horror going on there.
Love it.
And I think we just released a still of it last week, but like of Scrooge being in the plant. And
I'm scared of. I'll do it for a second. It's my last life. I don't want to start over.
Yeah. Can you sing here in the chat? You know, you can definitely sing.
Please. Life is like a hurricane here in. There's a little delay. Duckburg. No one? All right, fine. No, they're
just type it out.
You dropped on your head much as a child.
Oh, you need
anybody got any DuckTales questions?
You guys have such a. I guess it's a bunch of guys, but you guys change subjects so much I can't keep up sometimes. So, like, here's the thing. Like, if you had followed your map and you kind of went here earlier, Scrooge would come up here and be like, oh, what's this? I don't know what to do. But, I need 8 things. So, it kind of leads you back down to go and look for the rest of the stuff.
Well, I'm not sure
how many levels will there be? That is a very good question. There are 5 original levels there, as well as a tutorial level in the Money Bin that leads to the hub world. which is the computer. And there's also a new level that leads to the final boss. So that's a total of 7 levels in the hub world.
You come down here and I'll deal you a blow to the head. You're supposed to be
7
keeping an
levels.
eye out for trouble, remember?
Interconnected levels. I'm not sure what you mean interconnected, but each level is you don't go one at a time now. Like that's kind of like Mega Man. You do the Mega Man X actually. You do the tutorial level, gives you kind of a background, how to play the game, and then you go to a hub world in which you can select the different levels you go to. And then and each level, you know, like I mentioned earlier, is really written to kind of feel like its own little episode of DuckTales.
Even like a Carl Barks comic, like
yeah.
We need to go off on this adventure right now.
Yeah, each gem is kind of, or each treasure is kind of its own little thing. There's kind of a minor hinting at the overall story, but that kind of all gets tied together in the finals. In the final episode, or the final level, which is like an episode.
Patience, fellas. Patience.
A lol a lunchpad. So it's
here he comes.
This is a very this was great for me. So like the
yeah, you have a history with Launchpad.
I actually personally too. He was a DJ at a local station, K101 in San Francisco, and I knew someone that had worked with him. It was his sound engineer, and I met him and kind of did a whole like meet and greet with him. And I had no idea back at the time.
Like, how old were you at the time? Like a little kid, though, right?
No, not that little. I mean, I must have been, if it was like around 1989.
Yeah, if you want to play tough, you jump off.
So yeah, so I was like 11 or something, or 12. But yeah, anyways, he was doing, you know, more VO work for us when he did the trailers that you guys are seeing, you know, like the postcard trailers.
Yeah.
And I basically listened to him interact with this guy he hasn't talked to like in 10 years, and listening to voice actors talk is it's like one of the most happiest things ever. They get so excited and they start doing their voice acting thing and laughing like Launchpad. It's actually really super interesting.
I found a legendary temple.
I heard that when
with a little help from your old
Alan Young had did his VO.
of course.
What's her face? The Webby voice actress.
Russi Tyler.
Russi Tyler.
Russi Taylor. Yeah.
Russi Taylor was there, and they know each other professionally, but they haven't seen each other in years, and apparently they had this like really heartwarming conversation that the guys were just willing to just let them do because it was so great just to see those guys talk.
I mean, to say nothing of game technology, like those guys have been recording since maybe the 70s or the 80s.
Long time.
I mean, I'm not talking about DuckTales here, just with Disney. So they used to all be, when they would record, they would all be in the same room. So they lived one of these episodes together all the time. So they're super close.
So I don't know if you guys noticed when he took that helicopter path in the original game. In order to do that, he kind of went up, and then the helicopter path went to the left. You know, and actually that doesn't really make sense in the level layout. When you think if you're going from a temple and you're going to go outside and go to another temple, going left doesn't make sense. It makes sense to get up and go right. So which is what we did here, and it kind of just made more sense. And you know, I'm pretty sure that was a limitation of the NES version of trying to keep the map small, but we were able to make it. You know, kind of just do a little tweak to make it make more sense. Plus, you'll notice too, like it's not as mandatory as it used to be. That section used to be much harder.
Yeah.
Right now it's an optional thing if you want to be a completionist. So it's there, but it's definitely not.
It's tough.
It's not the wall that it used to be.
It was a point of pride to get past it back in the day.
Let's see.
Oh, I better not die.
See, the specific consoles that we've announced it for, and this is pretty much the final list, is, at least for now, is the PSN, XBLA, Steam, and Wii U eShop. Our release date right now is later this summer. That's all we really talked about. We're trying to nail it down. I'll tell you, like working in digital titles, and I've worked on a lot. We're not trying to be shy about it. About the release date. Doing release dates are very, very...
It's much weirder than you think.
It's a nebulous thing on doing digital titles with XBLA and PSN. It's almost like applying for a release date. So as soon as we're able to nail that down, and it's not really a problem with the game itself. It's just really hard to do that. It would be kind of within a month of when you think it's going to happen, so when we can then we'll announce it.
I'm going to show everybody one more secret. One more secret, and then we're going. Then you go to bed. I can do it like this.
This is an achievement.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that secret was. I think that was in the original. There was some kind of thing where you had to pay someone.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the original game had a lot of backtracking. That you had to go to a level and then get money and then go back. You know, there was a lot of weird backtracking, and And it was kind of an artificial way to make the game seem longer than it was in NES days. You know, it's not a bad design choice, but it's not really necessary nowadays. So, well, it's part of one of the tweaks that we did to it.
It's also one of those things that's sort of geared towards second and third playthrough.
Yeah.
And this definitely has that. But like, if you want to play it like old school DuckTales, that I recommend doing that on your second playthrough. Hard, baby, hard.
Do we know the achievement list? No.
I hope you don't.
I hope not. What is that website? X360achievements.org. I don't know. I think every game I've ever released, somehow the achievements
gets on there. But so if it's on there, guys, don't look at it.
So if I can help it, it's not going to be out for a little bit, but chances are.
Okay, I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Boss battle?
Oh, this boss battle. See if anybody in the chat remember what this boss encounter was.
Let's see. Is the original unlockable, or are there any videos like in Final Fantasy? So the original is not available in the game, unfortunately. I mean, that would have been a really cool thing to do, and there are some certain limitations that basically prevented us from doing it. Believe me, we tried.
Yes, not something we don't think is worth doing.
Kind of like a little tribute to the original game, though. Like, we do have a mode that you were able to play all the music in an 8-bit mode.
Yeah, and I think that there's stuff, things to unlock. Or you mentioned that? Maybe.
Jay, they said. I think Matt said it's okay to talk about it.
All right.
I've mentioned it before.
But like some really cool old stuff that I would bet most of you have never seen. Going back from that to that era.
And it's actually pretty cool because there's a lot of new areas in this game that required new music. So it also Jake had created new 8-bit versions of this as well, and they were actually really good.
Yeah, and I believe Jake couldn't stop making music. And
Catch me, kilts.
man, there's some fun musical surprises in store. I can't wait for people to hear.
So this boss, you know, before all it used to do is just jump around and jump on it. So I think
now
WayForward has really done a good job of giving it more attack patterns and basically something more to do.
Yes, like this, for instance, you might not be used to.
But they're still very typical NES 2D platformer kind of attacks. I think it really fits in this world.
Oh God! And yeah, just especially like, you know, one of the things that irritates me. I was going to call this Indiana Jones-esque.
Yeah.
Spielberg and George Lucas have said numerous times they were inspired to make Indiana Jones, in several of those instances, from Carl Barks' Duck comics.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then DuckTales has the Indiana Jones font, basically, but
it does.
It was first. It inspired Indiana Jones.
I actually didn't realize. I didn't notice that until just now.
I mean, you know, that was a popular '80s expression.
Like, but still.
But yeah, I was going to call it because whoops-a-daisy. The wall's coming in. That's how can you not think of Indiana Jones?
I see a note here from Evil Ryuga saying DuckTales made everything, and that is closer to the truth.
It's true.
I'm pretty sure he knows it too. Look online. There are a few articles out there. If it's not, you know, DuckTales or the Carl Barks comics had inspired or oddly prophesized a lot of things that
Carl Barks is a global phenomenon. Like, he's not as popular as America as he is everywhere else. Like,
there you go. You mentioned the creation of Astro Boy. That was actually one of them too.
How dare you!
But don't take my word for it. There are guys that have done more research than I have. Just check it out.
Yeah.
It's practically amazing. Like the amount of things that DuckTales has inspired.
Yeah, exactly. Those comics, and if you can pick them up, Fantagraphics has been re-releasing them in great volumes and collections, and I've picked up a bunch of them. I can't recommend them enough.
Oh yeah, Inception.
Yeah.
That there is a comic that Carl Barks that is literally
the plot to
Inception, and I think there was some kind of interview. Someone brought it up to the director, to Christopher Nolan, and he said something. I don't say he fully admitted it, but there was some kind of offhanded note that didn't absolutely deny it.
I bet he'd probably been made aware that it existed.
Yeah.
And he probably, he probably didn't realize, even if he had read it, he didn't realize he was inspired by it. There's no theft there.
Yeah, well, no, he had mentioned that. Yeah, he heard the story before somewhere.
Yeah.
And he wasn't positive where, and so he was owning up to the fact, that the Inception basic plot had come from something. Really with that.
Look at that, people. This definitely is much better. Goes a huge step further than the old completion.
So to Patron Angel, no, we are not. I'll just tell you, we're not going to show the moon level today, or that is going to be like the last thing you're ever going to see on this game before it releases.
The moon level is for tomorrow. I mean, as in not tomorrow, literally.
All this way for nothing.
Yeah, it's such an anticipated part of the game. I mean, we're really going to have it. It's going to be like one of the last things you ever see. And I'm hoping we're going to do something very special for that at Comic-Con, but we're still planning it out, and we'll see. So for those of you going to Comic-Con, just keep your eyes out on the news coming, like, before you go, right? I don't want to say too much about it, but we're planning something very special for DuckTales, and you kind of need to be there in order to catch it.
Oh man, no, I'm excited. And
I'm excited.
If you're in the LA area for the next until June 30th, I Am 8-Bit's Gallery has a recreation of Scrooge's Money Bin that I think you and I spent a good couple minutes in. Couldn't stop doing it. Couldn't stop frolicking.
Yeah. There's a giant recreation of the Money Bin. If my phone was on me, which is on the floor charging, I'm too lazy to get it, I would show you a picture of me in the Money Bin throwing a...
I might have one.
Oh,
I might have one.
Chris, if he has his picture, he's going to show it.
Yeah, I'll totally show it. Oh, and that music, the level completion music, stage clear, jingle. Oh.
Yeah, I've had more than a few guys that were just happy to hear that because it's like the sound of victory.
It is, and it's, I don't know. There's so many things that are so celebratory, and like what we did. Who was I talking to about the moon theme? The moon theme feels like a finale. The moon song. And so like I always made that the last level for myself, so I love that we're that'll be the last level on our schedule. Yeah, can we switch back over to the cam?
Yeah. So here's a picture, I guess, of Chris.
Right, don't laugh because I got a little excited. Let me see if we can actually see that there. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in a money bin.
So that bin is actually a lot bigger than it looks. But,
yeah. I'm up to my waist, people. Yeah, and there's a bunch of different treasures in there. Oh, is that it for our stream? Are we gonna close it down?
We could do Transylvania.
You want to do Transylvania? We'll do. What, do people in the stream want to see Transylvania? Let's hear it. I'm just kidding. We'll do Transylvania anyway.
Yeah. I see a lot of faces.
I do not have my glasses on.
Is that why you're so?
Yeah, that's why I got to lean all the way in there.
We're getting yeses. We're gonna play Transylvania.
Okay, we'll play Transylvania. Here we go. I love this. I don't know that this is inspired by the Skeleton Dance, that classic silly symphony, but it's pretty great, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. So I mean, I don't know if a lot of you guys know that where WayForward is. It's very close to CalArts, which is a college, art school that was founded by Disney. So they actually have a lot of the founders that and the creative director at WayForward went to CalArts. I mean, they're practically Disney trained artists and animators. So I mean, a lot of the guys there, know how
Jesse,
to animate.
one of the animators, has animated with Disney in the past.
Yeah, they know how to animate in the Disney way, and this is kind of conjectured by me, but I've mentioned this very few times, but. Disney has already, they've gone on the record saying that they're not going to make any more straight-up 2D animation features anymore. They're done and over with that, and I get it. You're able to do a lot more with CG, and this is kind of the way things go now. So this is very possible, unless you do more of these games, that this could be the last.
Wow, really?
Disney 2D animated, frame by frame, thing you ever see. It's possible.
I don't know. I just found that the Trapdoor did that the other day, and it really made me happy. There's no reason to do it. It just
interesting
works.
note about that. One of the QA guys had bugged that it moves in an unnatural way, and I'm like, it's gonna move. In fact, I would like it to move more. I decline that bug. I mean, you know, in certain viewpoints, if you're trying to be accurate, sure, it's moving unrealistic, but everything should be exaggerated on this.
This is also a walking duck without pants. Let's not split hairs. But yeah, like I do. I hope this isn't the last piece of 2D Disney animation, but I do think I'm enjoying games and comics so much more, and how well things I used to love can live in comics and games. So maybe there'll always be a place for 2D animation in games. Don't
get me wrong. There's always going to be a place for this in games, but
look at that, see?
Coming from Disney, I don't know if they're going to do it again. And you know, the fact that Disney has had their hand in this and they really approved the look, and all the artists are practically Disney trained guys.
I want this to do so well. They fast track a new DuckTales show.
Yeah.
All the original voice cast, and I am just dreaming here, people.
So that prompt isn't going to come up every level.
No.
This is just here
this
because
is for the demo.
This is for the demo because you know we have to assume that this is their first time playing it.
And I know we stated this before, but it is one of my favorite touches. Let me see if I can kill old Skullduck here or re-kill him. Get out of here. The eyes.
Yeah.
The eyes on the painting. And I think, forget, even the people in the painting have some basis in something. I forget what it is.
You know, they look a lot like the people in that family tree thing that we looked at. Yes, the Duck family tree.
But you'll notice their pupils follow you for that creepy Haunted Mansion feeling. And when I say Haunted Mansion, I mean that is how the optical illusion is done in the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland. Yeah. Disneyland all over the world.
So so this is not an animation of the eye looking back and forth. It's a concave polygon.
Yeah.
And it's giving the illusion, just like in the Haunted Mansion where the faces look like they would track you.
Yep.
As the camera moves past this, it gives the illusion that the eyes are tracking them.
It is a backwards 3D rendering.
Yeah, and actually I brought that up with somebody recently, and there's another game very recently that does it too, and I wish I could remember.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of shared as like a some kind of game design technique as well.
Yeah.
Being able to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm invincible! I want to show people. Oh, I love his run animation.
That wasn't originally in the game, and it was Disney that was like, hey, you know what would be cool if the eyes could track you in some of the paintings. Oh, nice. So yeah, props to Disney. They have to help out with a lot of. I mean, no one knows their brands better than them. And, you know, they were able to give us, you know, quite a bit of feedback to really give us the right feel, like the Beagle Boys.
Yeah.
They made sure that, you know, you make sure you got the Beagle Boys have their official numbers, because they have.
Yep.
Even though I think it's all 1, 4, 6, and 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the significance of those numbers is, but it's always.
I only know on the woman it's her measurement. I may not be supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. Don't listen, Disney.
It's a 6 or 7 digit number that's composed of 4, like.
It is like it. They have specific names, burger, and yeah, those numbers correspond. Oh man, see, if I knew DuckTales as good as I think I do, I'd be able to. I would be able to avoid shenanigans like that.
There's not going to be a press conference. I don't think we've done a press conference in a while for E3.
For E3?
Yeah, we used to do some kind of press thing. Rumors say MVC4 will be announced. Well, rumors say a lot of things.
Yeah, well, it turns out rumors are wrong.
I
saw that too. I'm like, I didn't hear about that.
Well, I mean, like, before MVC3 was on, I mean, there were MVC3 rumors for years and years ago, and even before it was even started being worked on.
I mean, I'm just happy to see Mega Man showing up in Smash Brothers. That was a very great way to start this morning. I'm going to go play DuckTales. Oh, hey! Mega Man. Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah, that was
awesome.
Yeah, I know we're prepared to hear the hate, but come on, that trailer was pretty good. They did Mega Man some right treatment.
Yeah,
they did a good job.
Beautiful.
I had no idea it was coming.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It was that secret. Oh. Huh. So this is nice. These are like nice little new touches that.
Yeah, so like in the original game, when you arrived at Transylvania, you just go in and you got to save the kids.
Yeah.
Like no real explanation of why. So you know, at least in the beginning, there was like, oh, they were all together, then they got lost, and then you added these kind of mini bosses, and it turns out to be the Beagle Boys who kidnapped all the kids.
It wasn't a real ghost.
It's really cute, and I don't know how you can knock it. I mean, if you don't like it, just. You always have the option to skip the story and the exposition.
That's what I've loved about this whole process is either you've never heard of DuckTales or you're out of your mind with excitement.
But for me, DuckTales the game and the show, it was like a whole package. It's more than just their antics. It's always their interactions and the dialogue that they speak.
Well, just the bizarre nature of the star of the show being a grumpy elderly man and he's so kinetic and fun to watch, and his wealth can afford him travels everywhere. I was even thinking, I don't watch a lot of kid shows nowadays. Of course, I watch Adventure Time, but what cartoon characters go anywhere or do an adventure?
Such a penny-pinching old miser. I mean, actually, this is kind of a cool thing that I learned recently. So I'm a big Ren and Stimpy fan.
Oh, nice.
Ren and Stimpy, the cartoon, I love them. Alan Young. Alan Young is Haggis McHaggis.
Yes.
He is also the same voice, who is another Scottish miser, penny pinching, much more adult than DuckTales, but it's same voice, same guy in it. That was so cool, and I loved it. I love every character on Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy's fantastic.
Haggis McHaggis.
Haggis McHaggis.
Yeah, I'm a Filipino guy. I don't try to do Scottish accents.
Luckily, my cornball mother does. So as long as I'm doing a good impression of her, I think I win.
I don't know if you were here when Leo used to work at Capcom. Leo is he's from our PR group. That he used to work for Capcom in Capcom Europe, and he's a PR guy, and he's a Chinese guy, but he's from Scotland, and it always tickled me to hear him talk in this Scottish accent.
Terribly confusing.
Which is almost Sean Connery like in his, but it's
yeah, that I can do a terrible Sean Connery.
Can you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's appropriate in the DuckTales stream. You're the man now, dog. All right, that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing.
I get a lot of my Sean Connery quotes. They're not from him. They're from Celebrity Jeopardy. The day is mine.
And Russi Taylor is also the voice of Minnie Mouse. And for years was married to the voice of Mickey Mouse before he passed away, unfortunately, a couple years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The idea of Mickey and Minnie being married in real life is
that's actually
too
pretty
Disney
cool.
for words.
Yeah. They should promote that more often.
A magic spell, and it's nearly complete.
So people are still asking about what the big announcement is, and
What
being
big
completely
announcement?
from us. To me, completely honest, I think
We're done,
What
baby.
I know, the big announcement was
We're done.
DR3.
E3 is do people make announcements on day 2, day 3?
I don't know. Someone says there's a TBD listed somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, the TBD was what will be streaming, and what will be streaming at that point was Dead Rising 3, which hopefully you just tuned in for because it's over now. But there might don't quote me on that. There might be another one. You're gonna have to check Capcom Unity.
Okay.
I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure there's no other big announcements going on, and I'm just being frank with you guys. I'm not trying to lead you guys on.
In the order of importance, we got DR3, Mega Man and Smash Brothers, and the Amazon level in DuckTales.
DuckTales. Absolutely.
I don't even joke. This game means so much to me. I'm so happy to see this done to it. I'm so happy to see everybody involved in the project equally happy to work on it, honored to work on it. Just everything about this thing is like magic.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to find something bad about it. Like the gameplay is timeless. The look is now more timeless.
Yeah, and I think just it has such a fantastic mood to the game. It's just a happy game.
Yeah, it's such a happy game. I love it now because the old Scrooge was kind of expressionless. And just the look on his face now, this determined look of nah, doesn't matter.
He's almost in kind of a bliss.
Yeah. Look at this, happy wherever he goes, surrounded by peril.
Yeah. So how's your E3 going, Chris? You've been
It's pretty cool.
Yeah?
It's pretty cool. I finally got to see the most of Dead Rising 3 on the stream.
Okay.
But did you see there's real zombies outside?
Yeah. We have this kind of this attraction where there's this caged off area with zombies in there.
Yeah.
Not the first E3 that we've had zombies at. Definitely
no, I just haven't seen it before, and it's pretty terrifying. I was over there trying to film and get B-roll, and Does anybody have any questions in chat?
Oh, there's a few guys asking about Marvel. So this is a download title.
Yeah.
So.
Stop asking about Marvel.
Yeah,
Disney owns Marvel.
I love Marvel. I was the combat advisor on Marvel.
Were you?
Yeah, me and Seth.
So how much would you fight to get Scrooge in another ensemble fighting game?
That would be awesome if he was in a fighting game. Who would want to see Scrooge McDuck in a fighting game? That would be
exactly.
Awesome.
So I don't need to convince you. So I can take your name off the really long, sternly written email. Scrooge should be a fighting game character for the following reasons.
He has a cane.
He has a cane.
He's
he
awesome.
already has a health bar.
He throws money and coins, and when he makes other characters, grovel for them to get them.
Exactly. He has numerous employees and nephews for assist. Launchpad
comes out and crashes a plane into them.
Oh, man.
With some kind of quippy line. Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be.
So glad everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
I love it when a wish comes together.
We'll make it happen.
I can only hope so. Where am I going?
You know what? I am Jordan 23. Just for all that, we're gonna put Scrooge in a fighting game, but he's gonna be in his own fighting game, and he only fights other Scrooges.
That's true.
He's like, he should be in Marvel. This is gonna be Scrooge versus Scrooge.
Dark Scrooge. Nega Scrooge.
It's gonna be like the first Street Fighter game where you could only pick Ryu or a color swap version of Ryu.
All right, I usually don't risk that. Whew. All right, what's this? A magical mirror? And oh man, what would DuckTales? Minecart sequence again. Can't give it all up to Indiana Jones. Scrooge has been doing this for the better part of 5 decades.
So it's kind of funny watching people play this for the very first time. When people make that jump there, they forget to hold left. A lot of folks expect Havoc physics to carry your inertia over and stuff. It doesn't really work like that. If you jump and you're not holding the direction, you're gonna drop like a rock. So very frequently people will die on there for the very first times because it plays very NES-like, which isn't how games nowadays play or how you expect it. So it's kind of.
And what happens if you don't jump right there when you?
Oh, you die.
You die. As is tradition.
Oh yeah, young Scrooge, Night Scrooge, Scottish Scrooge.
Night Scrooge. I'm just gonna throw in Tron Scrooge if we're gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a nice neon blue outline.
Did you see? So the designer director from WayForward is here. We're also doing interviews as well, and he's got this awesome shirt. I don't know if you've seen it. It's very new. It has the Daft Punk helmet. And then one of the other Daft Punk helmets in it says Daft Duck.
Yeah.
And it says Get Lucky, so it's pretty new. And it basically, instead of the standard helmet, it's kind of like a duck version of it. It's an awesome shirt.
Oh, I have not seen the duck version. I saw the Mega Man Proto Man.
Okay, I didn't know they had those.
Helmet.
And we're sitting there doing interviews, and all I'm doing is burning a hole in a shirt with my eyes.
Gotta have that shirt.
Wondering, how come I don't have that shirt?
This interview is over. I'm going shopping.
I want that shirt. It says Daft Duck on it.
How's your interviews been going?
It's going good. They've been going good. I'm meeting a lot of the international guys.
Yeah.
My first set of interviews are from the fine folks from some guys from Brazil, where DuckTales never went away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're still being published in comics right now.
It's been going on. So those guys have. It's published, I guess, in Brazil by Brazil. I'm assuming Brazilian writers.
It is, along with that green parakeet from Three Caballeros. He is super popular too.
Yeah, okay.
He has his own issue with Scrooge, but it's always interesting to see because Scrooge on those issues is placed higher than Mickey, and he tends to appear with like the big 3.
Oh,
he's that big abroad.
I can see why, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he's very. There's not a whole lot of representation there.
And if you think about a character that is a catalyst for adventure, like it's not Mickey and it's not necessarily Donald. Scrooge is the one to put himself in harm's way if he gets too upset.
Yeah.
Or if he just wants money.
Donald Duck doesn't equal Scrooge. They're totally different guys.
They are totally different personalities.
They don't do it as much anymore in the Disney cartoons because I guess it's kind of a bad character. Just like how Scrooge is towards later wasn't the miser he is like he was in some of the movies. But I used to love watching the old cartoons when Donald would basically have a fit.
Yes.
Oh man, his temper.
Now, where did you come from?
He would go crazy doing that little jump, and then I remember the one where the artist, who was kind of like breaking the fourth wall, and the artist drew a violin in his arm instead of playing it.
I do remember that. Oh, I wish I knew the
I
name of
love
the
that
cartoon
one.
offhand.
Yeah.
If you'll
I have made it a personal goal to buy all Disney's duck-based cartoons that are
Yeah.
available on DVD, and I definitely have done that. So
Yeah.
take that, everyone.
Yeah. So yeah,
not
I used to love watching. I remember the when they would show the cartoons on the Disney Channel, it was that DTV thing that kind of had them driving up to the drive-in, and it had that sound. Yeah. I remember.
That's right.
I loved watching that.
So did you not watch them under the umbrella of Disney Afternoon? I realize I throw around that term a lot, and not every market, because DuckTales was a syndicated show. It wasn't.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the when they used to show all the cartoons.
That's what I'm saying. It was called the Disney Afternoon where I was, and there was this whole thing where like the Gummy Bears and Darkwing Duck.
Oh, no, they had that. Of course they had
and
that.
Tailspin would come out.
Yeah. But they also had at night the DTV kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I heard from some people like, no, I watch DuckTales every day. It was always on in the morning. So the Disney Afternoon, like all of those animation splashes I love, she had never seen, given to where it aired in her area of California.
Yeah, when I watched DuckTales, it was definitely an afternoon.
Oh yeah, man, that 2-hour block after school.
Yeah, well, Gummy Bears was a Saturday morning thing.
It was.
But,
It was.
But DuckTales and Tailspin and Gargoyles. And,
Gargoyles.
Yeah, that was an odd afternoon. Hey, I was starting to come out of cartoons at that time. I was getting a little old
not
for them,
me.
but I still loved them. And so definitely a part of my childhood.
Oh man, I haven't fought Magica in a while, and everybody made fun of me last time I fought her. Can I get back in that? Yes.
Let's see.
So what am I headed? Do we have time? Oh, that's right.
Yes.
If you were paying attention to dialogue, invisible walls.
Does anybody, like a lot of these, a lot of the Disney Afternoon, except for Gargoyles, kind of tied back to an old Disney classic thing. Does anyone remember what Tailspin was kind of
I definitely do.
was attached to, or what that kind of like an update of where those characters came from? Yes, it came from
There
the
we
Jungle
go.
Book.
I like to. I know they're not the same snake, but the Ka in the Jungle Book and the snake in the Amazon stage.
Yeah.
I mean, all Disney snakes are going to end up looking the same. He probably looks like Hiss in Robin Hood, too.
Yeah. I know. I'm sure that the artist had decided, very consciously, it's like, let's make it look like another
It's a Disney snake.
Disney snake. Speaking of Robin Hood, like when I asked that question to the stream, I was like, I loved the Robin Hood cartoon. Like
It's out on Blu-ray soon.
I loved and there should have been an IP, or like not IP, but like a cartoon, a modern cartoon based off those characters.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, see him in the modern age.
Yeah, that and this is the Sword and the Sorcerer's Disney, right?
The Sword and the Stone?
Sword and Stone?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that one.
Absolutely.
Too.
That's such a great film.
Yeah, I really miss a lot of those old animated movies. I gotta make
I'm
sure.
just scooping them up like the second they come on Blu-ray. I don't really even bother buying DVDs of any kind other than these.
Sneaky, conniving.
Oh man, how are we doing on time? I got 10 minutes to beat Magica.
Oh, you got it. So this again.
Man, I found out the secret to Magica's lightning attack, and I felt really embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
You got the secret?
you're smiling because you know what it is.
We've changed it. I think in the very first builds that you saw that the lightning attack was an actual solid lightning bolt, and you weren't really sure what the hitbox was. So we turned it into like an individual kind of like a particle that you could actually avoid.
I see.
It makes it easy, yeah, but there's a secret to making it easier for you.
Should I show them or should I? It was almost. It was just one of those things that was so funny when like somebody from Way Forward
just
was
play
just
like
like,
you're gonna play.
"Hey, psst."
Just play like you're gonna play.
All right.
If they'll show it.
Because I mean, if I can predict what she's gonna do there, I know to dodge it. Oh my God, that's a hint.
Waiting for Black Cauldron. That was
That's
awesome.
a weird one. That's a weird transition movie. I happen to love it.
I like it.
It's a little odd, but it's great to see that kind of universe drawn to life by Disney animators.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't remember that. Even the people like my age, it's such a random. You always miss that one.
Yeah.
So it's such a kind of one thing that you maybe see once when you're super young and you totally forget about it. But yeah, Black Cauldron was definitely
It's pretty dope.
good. Kind of like the little more mature, dark kind of Disney cartoon. But yeah, I really miss a lot of those 2D animated
I made it a
movies.
point. I own. Oh, come on, Chris. Come on. Scrooge McDuck would be
I'm not a huge fan of the rotoscoped ones, but the, the later ones, the other ones I liked.
Okay. And oh yeah, here we can hear June Foray.
Yeah. So we had talked about how he bumped up the boss battles, and I think this one in particular is like one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's so many things. Whoa, that is totally new to me.
Yeah, so those are balls now instead of a continuous lightning bolt. So it's made it easier to basically for you to be able to see what the particle that you're supposed to avoid is. And that's kind of one thing that you get only just from a kind of focus. Trust me, these things seem super obvious when you're playing it, but when you're
making it frame by frame,
when you're making a game, it really takes a lot of iteration to really kind of get to these things.
Shouldn't scream on the microphone.
Yeah, it's the #1 dime. So that's actually we really kind of elaborated on that story of her pursuit of the #1 dime.
Oh, that's right. She is always after that specifically. She'll occasionally align with Glomgold.
Yeah, well, that's what we do in this game. It's really. Don't worry, I'm not really giving anything away. You guys are to see the story for yourselves, but it made it like really cool.
I'm gonna do this right. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Damn Mike Ross reactions. Speaking of game. Like Mike Ross or whatever, but I was over in the arcade area that's nearby. There's kind of a classic arcade game. There's a hyper fighting, and I was doing pretty well.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I was playing some hyper fighting on a pretty decent cabinet. It's a small cabinet, kind of like this is really the 7-Eleven size, but they had good joysticks, good position.
Keep going.
I was doing pretty good. I was 10-2. And then Ultra David comes along and perfects me, and I say, "Damn you, I'm out." Yeah, for those of you who know, Ultra David's kind of a guy in the fighting game area field. He's pretty good.
I bet I could beat him at DuckTales in a speed run. Pretty good.
I bet you. I should have said, "I'll take you to DuckTales. Come to Capcom booth and do it." You
got to put something on the line.
You and your Zangief.
I'll put my DuckTales animation cell on the line. I'm just kidding. I'd never do that.
What have I done with combo? I don't know. I didn't do their combo.
Wow.
Well, that's a Transylvania level. I hope you guys
That is our stream, folks.
And that is the DuckTales stream. I think we have another one tomorrow. Thursday.
Maybe Thursday. We'll be doing a bunch of shows with IGN, GameSpot, and Twitch tomorrow, so you can tune into those live.
Tomorrow is our live show day with other guys. On Thursday, the Unity stream with will be with Austin, who's a designer and director. So, as interesting and fascinating as I am to listen to, I know.
No, it's just, I get to bother you every day.
Well,
I don't
he
think
has a lot of the inside
much.
stuff. Yeah, the stuff that I don't know. Super esoteric. I mean, he has a lot of the insight. So if you guys have very specific questions or want to know like some of the, the secret scroll stuff, he can give it to you.
But yeah, that's DuckTales. It is liquid wonderful. It is out this summer on PSN, Xbox Live, Wii U eShop, and Steam.
Yeah, so for basically all the major ones out there. So I know a lot of people, and I'm not trying to ignore you. I kind of talk about it on Unity, but I know there's a lot of questions. Oh, why not? 3DS and Vita. And I wish I could tell you why, but it's just not in the cards right now. So. But trust me, if there was something that we could have done for whatever reason, if it benefited the product in a way that we could manage, we would do it.
It is, and who's to say what the future holds? But until now, if you play games, this game will reach you with the current platforms we have.
Absolutely, by later this summer. I mean, it's the better this does, and it is. I hate to fall back on this, but the better this game does, the more we can do more similar things.
I'm buying 2.
I
know that. Got to have my Avatar T-shirt.
I don't even have a PS3, and I'm gonna get it for the PS.
Got to have the Steam version. Got to have my Wii U version too. I don't know what I'm gonna do. DuckTales, guys.
All right,
Thanks a lot, Ray.
Yeah. I'm saying it's just summer right now. We'll narrow that date down as we get there. But
all right, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Bye. Logo.
Scrooge McDuck would be
I'm not a huge fan of the rotoscoped ones, but the later ones, the other ones I liked.
Okay. And oh yeah, here we can hear June Foray.
Yeah. So we had talked about how he bumped up the boss battles, and I think this one in particular is like one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's so many things. Whoa, that is totally new to me.
Yeah. So those are balls now instead of a continuous lightning bolt. So it's made it easier to basically for you to be able to see what the particle that you're supposed to avoid is. And that's kind of one thing that you get only just from a kind of focus. Trust me, these things seem super obvious when you're playing it, but when you're
making it frame by frame,
when you're making a game, it really takes a lot of iteration to really kind of get to these things.
Shouldn't scream on the microphone.
Yeah, it's the #1 dime. So that's actually we really kind of elaborated on that story of her pursuit of the #1 dime.
Oh, that's right. She is always after that specifically. She'll occasionally align with Glomgold.
Yeah, well, that's what we do in this game. It's really. Don't worry, I'm not really giving anything away. You guys are see the story for yourselves, but we made it like really cool.
I'm gonna do this right. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Damn Mike Ross reactions. Speaking of game, like Mike Ross, or whatever, but I was over in the arcade area that's nearby. There's kind of a classic arcade game. There's a hyper fighting, and I was doing pretty well.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I was playing some hyper fighting on a pretty decent cabinet. It's a small cabinet, kind of like this is really the 7-Eleven size, but they had good joysticks, good position.
Keep going.
I was doing pretty good. I was 10-2. And then Ultra David comes along and perfects me, and I say, "Damn you, I'm out." Yeah, for those of you who know, Ultra David's kind of a guy in the fighting game area field. He's pretty good.
I bet I could beat him at DuckTales in a speed run. Pretty good.
I bet you. I should have said, "I'll take you to DuckTales. Come to Capcom booth and do it." You
got to put something on the line.
You and your Zangief.
I'll put my DuckTales animation cell on the line. I'm just kidding. I'd never do that.
What have I done with combo? I don't know. I didn't know they were combo.
Wow.
Well, that's a Transylvania level. I hope you guys
That is our stream, folks.
And that is the DuckTales stream. I think we have another one tomorrow. Thursday.
Maybe Thursday. We'll be doing a bunch of shows with IGN, GameSpot, and Twitch tomorrow, so you can tune into those live.
Yeah. Tomorrow is our live show day with other guys. On Thursday, the Unity stream with will be with Austin, who's the designer and director. So, as interesting and fascinating as I am to listen to, I know.
No, it's just,
there's.
I get to bother you every day.
Well,
I don't
he
think
has
I'll
a lot
bother
of
Austin
the inside stuff. Yeah, the stuff that I don't know. Super esoteric. I mean, he has a lot of the inside. So, if you guys have very specific questions, or want to know like some of the, the secret scroll stuff, he can give it to you.
But yeah, that's DuckTales. It is liquid wonderful. It is out this summer on PSN, Xbox Live, Wii U eShop, and Steam.
Yeah, so for basically all the major ones out there. So I know a lot of people, and I'm not trying to ignore you. I kind of talk about it on Unity, but I know there's a lot of questions. Oh, why not 3DS and Vita? And I wish I could tell you why, but it's just not in the cards right now. So. But trust me, if there was something that we could have done for whatever reason, if it benefited the product in a way that we could manage, we would do it.
It is, and who's to say what the future holds? But until now, if you play games, this game will reach you with the current platforms we have
absolutely announced. By later this summer. I mean, it's the better this does, and it is. I hate to fall back on this, but the better this game does, the more we can do more similar things.
I'm buying 2. I know that. Got to have my Avatar T-shirt.
I don't even have a PS3, and I'm gonna get it for the PS.
Got to have the Steam version. Got to have my Wii U version too. I don't know what I'm gonna do. DuckTales, guys.
All right,
Thanks a lot, right?
Yeah. I'm saying it's just summer right now. We'll narrow that date down as we get there. But
all right, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.